Why doesn't Obama take over the government, since it is shut down?
Well, son, he can't because there is a thing called checks and balances.
But can't he declare war?
No, Congress has to pass a declaration of war for the U.S. to go to war. You see, our founding fathers created the three branches of government, with checks and balances so no one branch could overtake the U.S.
So Obama can't take us out of the shutdown?
No, the reason the government shut down was because they didn't agree on where the taxpayers' money should go. It won't be open until they can agree on spending.
So how do the checks and balances work?
Well, you see, there is a separation of powers between the three branches with checks for each other. It is kind of like rock, paper, scissors, where if let's say a bill once is attempting to go to law, the first thing that happens is the bill will go to the House. Then if people agree it's a good idea, it will go on to the next voting stage. Here the bill will go to the House of Representatives to vote on it, then it will go to Congress. Now the bill can't become law just yet. After all this, the bill will go to the president so he can sign it into law. He can veto the bill, which means he didn't like it. Then the bill will go back to Congress, where it has to pass with 2/3 the vote for it to be passed without the president's signature.
So that way no laws, there shouldn't be laws, pass, right?
Right. Now if it becomes a law, it becomes the responsibility of the judicial branch to interpret the law. You see how the three branches start working together.
Yeah, sort of. So how do the other checks and balances work?
First, we have to start with what the three branches of government are. We have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The legislative branch is established by Article I of the Constitution. The legislature makes up all of Congress. They are the ones who couldn't agree on how much money to allocate to the health care reform by Obama and shut down the government.
So it's like if you and Mom couldn't agree on how much to spend on groceries, and then don't feed us as a result?
Yes, it's similar. Now the legislative branch has special powers reserved for it, but in relation to checks and balances of government it has different powers. The legislative branch's power over the executive branch is that it can impeach the president, approve treaties, and presidential appointments. Its power over the judicial branch are that it can create lower courts and impeach judges, and approve them from the president's recommendations. Now the executive branch has specific powers over the other two. The executive branch can call special session of Congress, and the most powerful tool of the executive branch over the legislative branch is the veto power, or the power to disagree on bill, like we talked about earlier. The executive branch's power over the judicial branch is that they appoint Supreme Court judges. The judicial branch's power over the executive branch is that they can deem the executive branch's actions to be unconstitutional, also known as judicial review. They are appointed to once and serve a life term unless they do something very unconstitutional. They also have the power over the legislative branch and deeming their actions unconstitutional as well.
I'm a little confused on the judicial branch.
The judicial branch can rule laws that Congress has passed or is voting on as unconstitutional. Congress checks the judicial power by being able to impeach judges, and by also approving the president's nominated judges. You see how it all goes full circle, so no branch will have too much power over each other. Just like rock, paper, scissors.
I think I get it. Government is hard.